And welcome to Swindon Live and Local on Swindon 105.5 together with... Oh, I didn't say who I was then, did I? I can't say... I could say together.
Tell everyone who you are first.
I'm Sean Hodgson. There you go. And there's a cock-up every week, isn't there, really? It's a good job this is the recorded bit, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Together with...
I'm Stu Jackson, and coming up on the show today, we have two interviews that Sean did recently with Swindon Fringe performers. There's comedian Matt Hoss and Paul Waddy.
I think it's Waddy.
Waddy.
No, it might be Waddy, actually.
Waddy, like Waddy.
Oh, you had to get it in. It's your little thing, isn't it? Every week you've got to get it in somewhere, haven't you? That's how it works with you, isn't it? Okay. But also in the show today, just have a quick shout out to our guest, Phil Cooper.
Hello.
Yay! Phil Cooper's in. He's live with us. Come all the way up from... Well, you've actually come from Bournemouth today, is it? Bournemouth?
I have, yes.
You're suffering a little bit, aren't you?
Yeah. A whiskey night last night.
Whiskey night last night. Well, whiskey's good for the voice, isn't it?
Apparently.
That's why you're doing it. You were in training, weren't you?
Yeah.
You're doing it specially.
We'll find out whether it's good for the voice later.
And also in the show with us, not in the show, we got another... Well, we've been, as you know, helping promote the Passion Play, which comes to Rawton on the 25th of March. And we got another interview with regards to one of the cast members there. We're going to continue here with Lake Vic Trask. And this is from the Model Folk, who play the Beehive on the 25th of March.
Sometimes we lose our way and hope that things will change. I'll struggle with my faith, so wish for one more day.
There's a certain strength of will it takes to break the mold. Let's throw the dice to see where it will fall. I could have been an actor, a teacher, a farmer. I could have been 200 miles above. But we know it's not all dreams.
Sometimes we lose our way and hope that things will change. I'll struggle with my fate, so wish for one more day.
So are we lost in our translation? Are we only marking time? Should we wish for better lives and be content? Do we live in mausolea? Do we just accept our fear? So let's throw that dice and see where it will fall. Should we really follow dreams?
Late Vitrask from Model Folk. Coming up from... I just realised I look at my notes again. I was just checking off in the room here. I don't know where they're coming from. I'm sitting there with I'm going to say they're Wiltshire-ish, sort of locally-ish, Bath-ish, Bristol-ish, south-west-ishy.
Somewhere in the UK.
Waffly based, aren't they, really? Waffly in my head. I mean, I sound terrible, excuse me. No, they're coming to play at the Beehive, 25th of March, which is, well, it's Good Friday, isn't it? That's next Friday.
It is.
In fact, that date obviously sticks in my mind on a regular basis, because we do mention it, so I should know that, shouldn't we? And there's a track of theirs called Late Vitrask. You know what happens now? It's a bit of this.
Okay, it's time for the musical medley montage. 5 bands, 5 songs. Name the band, name the song.
Yeah, you know, this works 5 artists, 5 songs. See if you can work out who this lot is. There we go, 5 artists, 5 songs, and I see you in the studio today. We've got Phil Cooper, who's brought his guitar in, going to be singing some songs and chatting to us. But first of all, Phil, turn to yourself first. If it's marks out of 10, 1 for the artist and 1 for the song, without shouting out the answers, how many points do you think you're going to give yourself with this week's musical medley montage?
I think I've got 8. I think I've got 4 out of the 5.
Hey, Stu, you want him on your team, mate?
I do.
You definitely want him on your team, don't you? Yeah.
Well, I do need all the help I can get.
That's 8 points. That's a cracking start, isn't it?
That would be impressive.
Hang on, did you look over my shoulder when I went to make myself a cup of tea or something? Is that how you... No, that's brilliant. Wow. Yeah. What about yourself, Stu? How are you doing? You were busy writing away there.
I was scribbling away. I've 5.
Yeah, but you're writing your shopping list, so that doesn't really count, does it? You know, when I say how are you doing, it means how are you doing with the songs.
Do you mean there's none of the bands called Pint of Milk?
No.
Okay.
Well, something similar, but not quite, no.
Oh.
No, I was just trying to throw you there. I was just trying to throw you there. Just trying to throw you. So what do you say? 6?
5
points.
Yeah.
5 points. Okay, well that's still
which
pretty
for
good.
Me
yeah,
is
really
good.
There are some well-known songs in there. There definitely well some. Yeah.
There's one song I definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Right. Okay. I say we will repeat that. Come back to that a few times throughout the show. Say you're listening to Swindon Live and Local on Swindon 105.5. In the studio we've got Phil Cooper, who've we've been playing your music for since I've been to the show, really, haven't we, Phil?
Yeah.
Since you've been for the last couple of years. It's nice actually have you here in the studio. You must have found us all right.
Yeah, it's lovely to meet you at last.
Yeah, it's great. So you're from Westbury, aren't you?
Westbury, Trowbridge originally, and now living in Westbury for the last sort of 4 or 5 years.
Okay, and you've just really in this last year decided, effectively, you've gone professional, then, haven't you?
I have.
You've stepped off the security ladder.
Yep.
And into the unknown. Well, it can't be that unknown. You must have had some feeling.
Well, I've obviously been involved in the music scene for more years than I care to mention on radio. But yeah, for the last few years, it's been sort of niggling away in the back of my mind. You know, should I try and do this? And so there you go. I am now. Brilliant.
So, what is your musical background then? What were you listening to? What got you influenced in music and decided to get you to pick up the guitar?
Well, I've always been surrounded by live music because my dad plays guitar and was playing in a rock and roll band sort of before I was even born. So even when my mum was pregnant with me, she was going along to the gigs, and I was sort of just getting the music thrown at me.
So you were from in the womb, it was pounding away then, was it?
Absolutely. And then I kind of grew up listening to that kind of rock and roll stuff, old 50s, 60s rock and roll.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, really? Rock and roll?
Because my dad was playing in a band around the area called Gogs and the Reefers, who sort of bit of a sort of had a sort of a bit of a following. Malcolm, the singer guy, who's really well known in Trowbridge, and it's sort of listening to things like "Runaway" by Dion, and things like that.
I love that. I do like that song. I admit, I like that song.
So I was kind of brought up on these sort of 2-3 minute pop songs, pop nuggets, and first sort of music I really fell in love with was Buddy Holly. So I kind of learnt to play guitar by playing along to Buddy Holly songs and so on. And then as I sort of developed my own choices and so on, it was Crowded House originally, and then the mid 90s came along. So you had your Oasis and Blur, and particularly for me, people like the Blue Tones and Manson, people with that kind of real lyrical tunes. So that sort of really appealed to me, and and then I kind of got involved with the folk world, and that I took another bit of a twist there, and here I am today.
So were you in band? I mean, you're a solo performer now. Generally, you do have a you can bring musicians together, can't you? But
but even it's still when I go out with a band, it's Phil Cooper and the Slight Band. But I've been in bands since I was at school. I'm not going to list them all now, but the sort of the main one, I guess, was the Haiku, which was we played for about 6 years, split up about 3 years ago now.
So you did quite a few gigs in Swindon with the Haiku?
Yeah, we played in the Vic a few times, and the Beehive, and various places.
Oh, right, okay. Is it guitar your bass? So you
acoustic guitar, and now actually I've started to pick up the electric a little more when I'm playing with the band, the full band. It's nice to sort of crank out the electric again.
Yeah, it gives you quite a different feel to it. It gives you a bit more oomph, a bit more, I don't know, sort of, just power behind it, I suppose, really, isn't it? Just some more, feel behind it. Rock, a bit of rock behind it, I suppose.
That's right.
With your rock and roll family background.
That's right.
Rock there, haven't you, really, somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
So what about recordings? Is there much out there that you've done that people can get hold of?
Well, all of the Haiku stuff is on iTunes and Spotify and everything. And then solo, I've just released my second album, which is Things I'll Never Say. Again, my first album, Half Live, and Things I'll Never Say, they're both on Spotify and iTunes and so on. But if you want to listen to them, my website, phil-cooper.co.uk, that you can just listen to them in full on there. And if you like them, please buy them, because as Sean said, I am trying to make a living from this now.
Absolutely. I mean, unless we all support musicians, well, there'll be no Phil Cooper tribute band in years to come, will there?
Well, it'll be me, won't it?
Well,
I'll be my
tribute band. Yeah. This is me as I was 20 years ago, and this is me as I am now. Versions, yeah.
There are bands, I'm not going to name them, but there are bands that you could say are doing that now.
Yes, they do seem to just trot out the old stuff, don't they? But I don't know. I'm not really. we like original creative stuff, don't we? Right, yeah. Well, you mentioned Buddy Holly there. I mean, to me, I suppose he's one of the first singer-songwriters of pop rock music, really.
Definitely.
The Beatles did, but they followed from him, didn't they?
Oh, really? Definitely. I mean, before that, I guess you had your Tin Pan Alley songwriting teams and so on, and he came out and actually was really inventive with it. People listen to it now, and it seems dated because of the the technology they were working with at the time. But I was sort of amazed at the things they were doing with what they had. Just their 4-track tape that they had, and some of the drummer just playing drums on his legs and a cardboard I forget which song it is now. not Fade Away, I think, maybe, where he's playing a cardboard box. He's actually playing drumsticks on a cardboard box, and it's just...
Well, Buddy also, he was the producer as well, wasn't he, in many of his songs? And actually he made an equal good name for himself as a record producer, didn't he? So he was up there, part of the development of what years to come we all now appreciate, really. I suppose there was some management team doing it all for you, really.
And he was only active for 2 years,
Yes.
which is incredible.
Yeah,
the amount of music that he's produced in those 2 years.
Yeah. Well, I see you got your guitar with you.
I do.
So we can open up with a song. You can give us one now, can you?
Yes.
What are you going to do? What's your first one going to be?
So yeah, this was inspired by my choice to sort of take the plunge and go professional. It's on the album, and it's called Stepping Off the Edge.
Okay.
This terrible thrill is becoming me. I look to the future, and what do I see? A world so uncertain and a chance to be free. The world outside is Schrodinger's box, with how many doors and how many locks. I guess I won't know until I take that walk. Now I'm stepping off the edge. I'm gonna need you as I learn to fly. Now I'm stepping off the edge. I'm gonna need you as I learn to fly. The more I thought, the more I knew. It's just something I've got to do. And you've got my back to help me see it through. Now I'm stepping off the edge. I'm gonna need you as I learn to fly. Now I'm stepping off the edge. I'm gonna need you as I learn to fly. This open stage I'll call my own, with doubts and fears all overthrown. Ooh, oh, oh. Stepping off the edge. I'm gonna need you as I learn to fly. Now I'm stepping off the edge. I'm gonna need you as I learn to fly. Yeah, I'm stepping off the edge. I'm gonna need you as I learn to fly. Now I'm stepping off the edge. I'm gonna need you as I learn to fly. I'm gonna need you as I learn to fly. I'm gonna need you as I learn to fly.
Oh, lovely stuff. Lovely. That's wonderful. You just heard there Phil Cooper with Stepping Off the Edge here on Swindon 105.5. Here's... what are we going to do with this? We haven't done this yet so far this week, have we?
It's the mystery voice.
You know how it works. Who's this mystery voice this week?
It's not taken off like Christmas, but I mean, it took a long time for Christmas to really take hold. So I'm hoping in a few hundred years that it'll be a much bigger day.
So without shouting out the answers, we've got people. Always, I can see it in people's faces here in the studio. Do you want to hear it again?
Yeah,
I can play that again actually if I just move something and slot it in there and whatever I do with buttons and things, it's the right button, so we know. So this week's mystery voice. Who is this week's mystery voice?
It's not taken off like Christmas, but I mean, it took a long time for Christmas to really take hold. So I'm hoping in a few hundred years that it'll be a much bigger day.
It's a male. I like to give out the easy clues first. And this mail was asked about the development of the so and so day. Mm-hmm. And it was called the such and such a day, and will it take off? Basically, that's what it's about. Anyway, so without shouting out the answer, do you look into both of you, Stu, Phil? Do you reckon you know?
I think I know.
You think? Yeah.
Having heard it again.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I know.
Yeah, I'm confident.
Yeah, confident. Okay, good. I like confidence anyway. Definitely like confidence. Excellent. Okay, so we got Phil Cooper here in the studio with us on Swindon 105.5. Is that one of your older songs?
No, that's new. That's on the new album.
Okay. Oh, we have played it. We have got your new album. Yeah, we have played it. Yeah. So your new album, when did that come out? You say your new one. How long ago was that?
About a month ago.
Oh right, okay, that's not long. That is new then, isn't it?
Yeah, very new.
You get people in here talking about their new album, and it's 2 years ago sometimes, don't you? You say, "Come on, get off your bottoms and do something more." But that's quite new, yeah. So do you find it easy? If you're someone who's got like more songs than you know what to do with from a recording purpose?
I have a catalogue. I'm not sure that I would be able to make another album like now out of them. But I could certainly dig around and try and improve some of the ones that I've had lying around for a little while. In fact, some of the ones that are on this album, I've had knocking around for years, and I played them to my brother, who played bass for me on the album and was sort of studio engineer for me. I played them to him, and he said, "Well, no, they need to be on the album. They're good enough to be on the album." Because I said, "Well, I wrote it 3 or 4 years ago. I've done nothing with it." No, let's record it. So.
Yeah, but I suppose if you've been out gigging with a song that helps develop it, you probably, as time's gone by, sort of maybe amended it and refined it. Yeah. Sometimes if you write a song and record it straight away, it's like, I wish I'd take my time with that, maybe.
Yeah, there was a bit of a mix on this album, actually, because some of them I have been playing for a little while, and some of them we literally developed them in the studio. I'd played them maybe a couple of times solo, but we'd never played them with the band, and so we kind of developed them as we were recording the album. That's new for me. It was nice though, working with the band in that way for the first time, because with the haiku it was basically me and Bert, our drummer, and eventually Satch came in to play guitar for us as well. But everything was very much planned before we went into the studio. We made sure that everything was sort of meticulous, and this is how we want it to sound, and then we went and recorded it. But it's sort of nice this time to do something a bit more organic and have that ideas free flowing.
You keep mentioning the band. I should name check a few people. So who was involved in your production, and who's sort of your regular compadre
for this album, for this new album? Yeah. Well, the core of the band is me, my brother. Ellis and Jack Moore. Do you know?
Oh, Jack Moore, yeah.
So Jack played drums for me on the majority of the album. There was a couple of dates where he couldn't make it. So another friend of mine called Alex Butterfield came in and played drums on a couple of tracks. On the recorded version of Stepping Off the Edge, we've got Jamie R. Hawkins doing some sort of backup vocals for me.
We've got a bit of his music today. We'll play...
awesome.
I know you work with him quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah. So when I wrote that song, I instantly thought, that sounds like a Crowded House song. And I thought, how can I make it sound more like a Crowded House song?
Jamie, you sound like a Crowded House singer. Could you mind? Is that how it works?
So yeah, it was kind of like now I want my Tim Finn line to my Neil Finn to mine Neil Finn. So and Jamie sort of jumped at the chance to do it, because we've got a mutual respect for each other's songwriting. So yeah, that was really nice. I've had a few a few sort of session musicians come in. I had a couple of friends of mine, Kevin Smith and Dan Gamay, who were my horn section. So they were playing trumpet and saxophone, respectively. I got a lady called Sam Bitmead, who I was in a band with years ago before the haiku, and she plays cello.
Oh, it's not. I like cello.
So
Cello's lovely. It's a really sort of melancholy feel, doesn't it? Really
Yeah.
adds something. Yes.
Yeah, so it's some of the sort of more sort of gentle flowing ones. It's got some just some nice mournful lines on. I've got Lucas Drinkwater plays double bass on a few, bowed double bass, and last but not least, sorry, Lou.
Good, should be correct.
Yeah.
Edit that bit. And least the person whose name I can't really think of, but is coming to me in a moment.
Lou Morris did some female backing vocals for me,
Right,
which was the kind of final polish to it. Because I was happy doing falsetto vocals as you've heard me do them, but there's nothing like having someone who actually genuinely sings in that register.
Yeah, cool.
Singing.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
and she's got a great voice, really compatible. She can turn her hand to most different styles. So it was nice to work with her as well.
Where do you record? Is it home recording, or do you actually invest into go to a proper studio? And
No, at my brother's studio, my brother's
Okay.
home studio. I've got a small setup at my house, which is basically just a vocal booth and a room that I can record guitar in. But he's got a proper sound deadened room with drums set up and everything.
Right.
So
yes.
it was nice because we were able to set up Jack's kit and just leave it there, and we weren't sort of forced to do everything within 3 or 4 days like if you've hired a studio.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's well, it's the drums that make it, isn't it? On a just go. You need a proper studio for that, don't you?
Definitely.
You can't, you can. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
We got time to get another one in for you during the first hour. You can squeeze
yeah.
another song in now,
Yeah,
can we? Yeah.
squeeze another
Excellent. Okay. And so what song are we going to get from you now? Then?
Right, I shall. Let me just
We'll just tune. This is the technical stuff,
change.
isn't it? This is the
Change the tuning.
Yeah.
So this is the first track on the new album.
Okay.
This is called Let It Fall.
Let It Fall.
The name inspired by a chef friend of mine who said when a knife falls off the work surface, let it fall. Don't try and
Don't
catch
try.
it.
Oh yeah, very nasty, isn't it? Yeah.
So and I thought that was nice, a nice sort of analogy for when things are going wrong in life. Just let them go wrong and then build again. So
okay.
that's what the song's about.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you.
So let it fall all the way, all the way. And when it hits the ground, you'll start to see your life again, the way it is, the way it is. So let it fall. Taking baby steps, I watched the building blocks tumble, the ones I built alone on the foundations of you. And all the while, your bulldozers rumbled, biding their time before they tore us into. I guess it was my fault, 'cause I didn't see the warning. I buried my head as I had all that I need.
I was blinded by the sun that I thought was dawning. I didn't stop to take heed. And all that I can do is let it fall. So I sit alone with only this guitar, picking at the bones to find something I can use. Well, it's such a heavy burden to relive each day so far, but the fragments of my heart are my muse. And all that I can do is let it fall. So let it fall, all the way, all the way. And when it hits the ground, you'll start to see your life again, the way it is, the way it is. So let it fall. Is let it fall.
Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Yes, you're listening to Phil Cooper here on Swindon, live and local on Swindon 105.5. We're going to give Phil a little bit of a break now. Actually, play some music. Actually, we mentioned earlier on your mate Jamie R. Hawkins.
Oh,
yeah, because tonight you're doing a gig with him, isn't it?
Yeah, at the Roaring Donkey.
At the Roaring Donkey. So if you want to go and see, both Phil and Jamie Hawkins, you can go and see them tonight at the Roaring Donkey. Here's one by Jamie, and this is called Denial.
You didn't make my head spin, you didn't move my world or anything. You never had me wondering what's going on behind that smile. You didn't give me butterflies, and I never once fell into your eyes. I didn't realize what it means to be alive. I never dream about you, and it's never hard to breathe around you. In fact, I only barely knew of your existence anyway. You didn't leave me tongue-tied, and it's not as though you ever crossed my mind. I must apologize because I can't recall your name. It's just a matter of convincing relentless self-conditioning to keep my memory rinsing, wash away your trace of you. Denial is the only way to be. Denial is the safest place for me. Denial is the method I prefer. Denial, denial. You never were. or a sudden jolt of electricity. Whenever accidentally your fingers brushed against my skin. And it doesn't even bother me that in many ways you're just my cup of tea, that you'll never be enfolded in my arms. I'll keep going through the motions like the pounding of the oceans. In a while time and erosion will erase all trace of you. Denial is the only way to be. Denial is the safest place for me. Denial is the method I prefer. Denial, you never were. You never were.
But that wasn't that was a pause. That was a genuine ending, that one. So we were just saying, flipping musicians putting pauses in the middle of songs when you think there's a few more seconds to go, and there isn't.
Heart failure.
It does, doesn't it?
Every
Yeah.
time.
I'm sure they do it deliberately. They probably sit there and said, "Tell you what, let's let them think we've got them, and what we do is, and then we come back for another verse." That's what we do, you see.
Oh yeah, that's definitely what we do.
Yeah, I know. Right, our guest has volunteered.
Yes.
Our guest has volunteered, doesn't our guest?
Yes.
He doesn't really know what he's volunteered for yet, but he's volunteered. He just
Define volunteer.
we've locked the door, you can't get away, and something along those lines. So we've got the 60-second challenge about to come up, but should we give the rules first, or should we play the soft... we'll play the
just the rules, I think. Yeah, and them, the nice calming...
The nice calming music
yes,
to lull him into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
Well, you can give the rules in.
Okay. Blimey. Okay. Well, the rules are you get 60 seconds to talk on a given subject. You can't repeat yourself. If you do repeat, we stop the clock and you lose 2 points. If you pause or hesitate,
just like that,
indeed, we stop the clock and you lose 2 points. And if you go off on a tangent, we stop the clock and you lose 2 points.
We do restart the clock in between those. So it's not a constant stop.
Oh, no. But at the end of those 60 seconds, if you keep talking, and we keep... Well, Sean keeps the time, so you don't need to worry about that, but just keep talking, because for every full 5 seconds that you keep going after the 60 seconds, you gain 5 points. Now, the scores so far are very wide-ranging on this. We've had everything from -10 this year so far to +9. Now, getting a plus score is quite an achievement in itself.
I can imagine.
But yeah, so you happy with that?
As happy as I'm going to be.
Well, I think to help get you, just to calm your nerves, get you nice and relaxed, a bit of a zen moment, I think a bit of music to put you in the right frame of mind.
Now you're in the spotlight. Are you beginning to sweat? Are you beginning to panic? All your friends will be listening. Can you take the pressure off? The 60-second challenge.
Right, so does that help relax you? That's got you all...
Yeah, I'm as chilled as they come now.
Ready and raring to go. Well, Sean, are you ready with your stopwatch?
I'm ready with my stopwatch.
I'm ready to keep score. So, Phil, your subject is... where the inspiration for songwriting comes from. Go.
Okay, it's difficult to say where the inspiration for songwriting comes from, but I feel like it kind of channels through you, which is a very it's a very strange thing to say. It's a bit of a cliche, I think, to say that it comes from nowhere, but I kind of start with
hang on. Yeah, I know. We allowed a little bit of stumbling and stuff, but we're not going to be that kind.
No,
we have to draw a line at some stage with the ifs and buts, and the waving of the arms doesn't really help on the radio, but it might help with your mind. But it looks good. It looks like you're about to take off, actually.
Yeah, I saw someone when I was driving on tour. I saw someone in the car next to me at the lights having a full-blown argument with someone that wasn't in his car, and he was just gesticulating like mad.
Anyway, you got to 24 seconds.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. It's pretty good, actually. Okay. So I forgot the name of it. You'll have to repeat the title. What was the subject again?
Where the inspiration
I've got to carry on with that topic, have I?
Comes from.
Okay.
Starting
deep breath.
now.
Okay, so I probably start with a topic. So it could be that a song title comes to me, just a phrase, and I'll work with it. Generally, I'll take whatever has come to me. I will start to think.
Come to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Up to 40 seconds. Come to me. So, continuing with your subject. Continuing now.
I've blown it now.
What do you mean?
That's a pause straight off.
Okay. All right. So
I'm trying to remember where I was.
It doesn't matter. Just where we have. I could play the music again if it helps.
I've got the music going around in my head.
Okay. I'll give you the restart introduction slowly. So, continuing with your subject, starting now.
Okay. So once I've got a subject, like a topic or something.
I think you've had one star, and you've had topic as well.
Oh, okay.
You've had. He's thinking, why am I here? You're thinking, why am I here? I come here to sing songs, and they're putting me through this torture. That's what you're thinking, aren't you?
I'm just trying to lead on to where I'm going. I know where I'm going. I'm just getting it all wrong at the start.
So you're up to 50 seconds, and continuing with your subject, starting now.
And generally, there will have been something going on in my life.
You have had generally.
Am I not allowed to repeat any words at all?
Ifs and buts and ofs and ands and thers, and any words that's in the subject matter. But no.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm getting close to that -10, aren't I?
Yeah. You're up to 52 seconds. Continuing with your subject, starting now.
So we'll think about things that have been going on in my life. Maybe years ago, and I will work with them around building lyrics to start with, and then once I've done that, I can start to think about a tune and what sort of tune goes with the lyrics. So
lyrics,
tune.
Yeah. Okay. You did get your 113.
Okay,
so you've
gained.
Clawed back.
Oh, okay.
10 points there. You clawed back 10 points. That's good, isn't it?
That's rather good because
wow.
You did lose 12.
Okay, and I've gained 10.
Gained 10.
So -2.
Yeah.
Okay,
-2.
I'm moderately happy with that.
That's respectable. Definitely.
Good stuff. So that what was
well
it?
done. Well
minus
done. -2. -2. That's a respectable score.
You're glad you've travelled all the way from Bournemouth for that, aren't you?
Oh yeah. If you'd given me the topic of whiskey, I could have just repeated last night's.
You don't want whiskey repeating on you.
No, you definitely don't.
And if you repeated it, we'd have docked your points anyway. So. Well done anyway. Oh, that's kind of you get right. Well done for the effort.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
The thing is, we've never done it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. We've never done it. Yeah. It's easy in this chair.
And like I was saying to you before, I'm a musician. Like whenever I come stuck and can't think of what to say, I'll play a song. That's what I do it for.
Yes, because
there's no rule to say you can't sing your answer.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Which is
there you go.
Unless they put the pregnant pause in, which they especially do for radio presenters in their song live, then that hesitation would be wiped out then, wouldn't
that would lose.
And choruses, you'd just end up with repetition all the time, wouldn't you?
Yeah. You could do lots of oohs and ahs, but when you repeat your ooh, well, that's it.
And of course, that would be fine for musicians, but if you've got singing ability like I do, then you really don't want to hear that. Now, as our regular listeners will know, we've been following the Wroughton Passion play, and we've got an interview now with another of the cast members that Sean did recently.
Hi, I'm Lucy Beverley, and I'm playing the role of James the Lesser.
So, as one of the disciples, then, are you perhaps considering going through your head what's really developing here, and or are you set exactly? You're an absolute follower of Jesus at this stage.
Well, we've had to all think about our character and how we would feel about Jesus. Would we be doubting at times? Would we be questioning him, or would we be fully for him all the time? I think my character is fully for him, and though at the scene with the turning the tables, I'm one of the younger disciples, so I am frightened by that and taken back by that, and questioning what's going on. But then with his speech afterwards about the blessed be the poor, that really pulls me back, and I get the comfort again that I know from the Jesus that I know. And so I think my character is fully for him, but we have all had to think about, would there be times when we'd be questioning him? And I'm sure I would have as well, but I think I'm more of a very, very sort of set person for him.
But you have the Pharisees and Caiaphas coming in and sort of challenging him, really, sort of questioning how does he have the authority? How dare he be doing what he's doing in breaking rules? So how do you think your character would perhaps be discussing this with the other disciples at the time?
I think my character would be sort of angry at angry at the Pharisees and cross at the fact that they're challenging Jesus and baffled by their lack of belief. And for me, it all makes sense. So for my character, it all makes sense. So why would they be questioning it? Surely it's clear that this is Jesus and he is the one. But I think then there will be discussion between all the disciples of, it would make us also talk about it and discuss it, and thinking about whether that, there's part of it that, does make us waver.
So just remind people, when can people get to see this production and where?
You can come and see it on Easter Friday at 10 o'clock in Wroughton. And the play's going to travel through Wroughton, but it will start at the Ailgene Centre.
Great. Thanks very much for chatting to us, Lucy, today. Really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
So that was Lucy Beverley talking to Sean there about her role as James the Lesser, one of the disciples in Wroughton Passion Play. And as she said in the interview, you can see that on the 25th of March in Wroughton. Further details at wroughtonpassionplay.co.uk.
And it's nice to see that we're not being sexist in the roles we're offering, are we?
Yeah, well, it's interesting to mix up the genders in that way. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, it's a variety of actors and cast, shall we say, that produce all. It's a characterisation that comes out. That's the most important thing.
Yes. Oh, always. Now, I think
we sound as though we're talking about. We know what we're talking about, don't we?
I ought to.
Yeah, but I'm doing the talking. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're trying to say.
Okay. Tell me, what is it I'm trying to say? I've lost now. I'm sure I've read it in a book somewhere. That's what actors talk about.
Moving swiftly on, I think I'd like to hear again, if possible, this week's music medley.
Okay, since you've asked nicely, you can then.
Ba-ya-ya.
So what do you reckon? Have you up to your... You were at 5, weren't you, Stu?
I'm now at 6, I think. Tentative 6. And one of the songs is really frustrating me because I know it, but I don't.
And Phil, what do you reckon?
I'm actually wavering now on one of the songs.
Oh, you've gone down a bit.
I've got the artist. I know I've got the artist.
Yeah.
But I'm now dubious about whether I've got the right song or not.
Oh, well. Well, I'll tell you, in the second half, it'll make it even worse. I'll give you the clues in the second half.
Okay.
Then it goes downhill badly then. It goes downhill badly. They're slightly cryptic, my clues, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to play this week's mystery voice as well. See if you can work out who this is.
It's the mystery voice.
Of course, it helps if I actually put the mystery voice in and just not announce the fact there's the mystery voice coming. That's when it all falls downhill, really, doesn't it? But luckily, the person who's in charge of the buttons, I just move things around and talk around it. It's called waffleology, you see, and we've got a degree in waffleology. Forget it. Let's just play the mystery voice instead.
I mentioned I'm taking a break from the buttons this week.
Except when that doesn't happen, of course. There are so many buttons here and there are so many things that forget it. Let's just play the mystery. I promise you, you will get the mystery voice coming through right now.
It's not taken off like Christmas, but I mean, it took a long time for Christmas to really take hold. So I'm hoping in a few hundred years that it'll be a much bigger day.
That was the mystery voice. I'm sure it was the mystery voice because it would be a mystery to somebody. It was a mystery to me how that happened there. Anyway, we will come back to that again in the second half. We're going to go up to the news now. This is...